What's going on, Metalorians? I hope you guys are doing great out there. So today I'm in actual work mode. Believe it or not, I'm in the office. I'm a tech guy and I do tech pretty much 24/7. So there are a lot of people asking, how do you work in VR? Now, there are a lot of programs that Oculus and the different VR makers create for you to have a very work immersed experience in VR. The problem is a lot of these programs, you have to have other people download them and they have to sort of unite with you, and then you can work side by side, which the programs are great. They give you the tools that you need. They give you multi-monitors and so on. But the reason why I'm bringing this up to you is a lot of people ask me, we've seen you work in Metaverse, which for us is AltSpace or VR chat. How do you do that? How do you get your computer to be seen inside and be sitting at a desk in AltSpace and work in VR? Well, that's what we're going to learn today. But first, spin that logo. Okay, everybody. So as I stated before, a lot of us want to be able to work in AltSpace and really have an immersive experience. Maybe you want to bring people into a meeting. Maybe you want to showcase something. Maybe you want to show a movie. Well, a lot of us do know about the AltSpace Web Projector, which projects the outside world into the immersive world. And I do have a video on that, so if you want to learn how to do that, you want to make sure you click on it to make sure you can access it. And it's also in our comment description below. But for now, let's just say you do have the AltSpace player. I'll briefly go through it so you can know what that is. What the AltSpace Web Projector does by Microsoft is it allows a streaming window to be inside the immersive experience, or the VR, if you will, and allows you to be able to manipulate and play a video and show anything on there. But in this case, we're actually going to take it one step further. We're actually going to set it up so we can work in VR. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take you through a couple of those steps to make that happen. We want to bring this computer. This is a laptop that I'm using right now, full laptop. And that's the laptop that I'm going to be streaming in VR so I can work in VR with our collaborative partners and also employees. Now, can everybody else work in at the same time? Unfortunately, no. You can have one screen with multiple screens with it for one user. We can't have 10 users, which, like I said, most programs out there that allow a immersive VR workspace environment do that. But for this case, we're trying to showcase it in the metaverse. I want to go into the metaverse and work in my virtual office there. I can have people come into a meeting with me, but I'll be controlling what's on the screen. So we're going to basically take that, bring it into here, which is going to be where we are going to be our destination. Now, first thing we're going to do is you want to make sure that you already have a world in here. If you do not have a world, look in the description. We do have a video on how to create worlds and how to create templates out of worlds. So the two things that you need to have is a working world that you have control over. This could also be your AltSpace Home default world that you have controls, and the AltSpace Web Projector. Those are the two things you're going to need in order for this to work. Now, what we're going to do is we're actually going to go into one of our worlds in here that is controlled by this cameraman, if you will. Now, the cameraman could be you, it could be a second account, it doesn't really matter. It's just making sure that you have access and rights to turn on the web player in that world. So for this example, we are going to go into that cameraman because I know I have access to that world. Okay, so for now, what we're going to do is we're going to go enter the world that I have set up here, which is our Advanced Networks Tech Offices. And I'm actually going to go into this world. Now, in order for me to broadcast into that world, I want to make sure I'm using the same account in the broadcasting machine, which is going to be the one I'm working out of, into this world. If I log in as my other account in the laptop I'm going to be working out of, I won't be able to stream it into this world because they have to be in unison. So I'm actually going to walk into this world. I'm going to go into our conference room here. And I'm actually going to be working out of that big screen from this space here. So I've got my web player all ready to go. All I have to do is activate it and get it up and running. So I'm going to leave that there. And next, we're actually going to go into our laptop PC. So the PC that we're actually going to be streaming in here is going to be the next piece. Now, in that computer that we have right there, what I want you guys to see is you can go to Google and you can type Web Projector or follow our YouTube video that explains how that works. But basically, we're going to install the Web Projector. Microsoft will give you the acceptance of the great long list of things that you should do and not do and all of that, and give your firstborn to them, etc. You're going to accept, you're going to get the download. Now this requires that you use a Windows PC and also requires that you use Microsoft Edge. It will not work with Chrome. It doesn't mean you can't broadcast Chrome, but in order for streaming, you're going to need that. So once you install it, and again, we do have a video on that. Once you install it, you're going to go to extensions, manage extensions, and you want to make sure that this is toggled on, which turns on the AltSpace Web Projector. Once it's up and running and you know it's running, you're going to have a little icon on the right hand side that says live. And what you're going to do is you're going to go into that and you're going to log in with the account that your world is currently set up to. Now, I know for this one that I'm working on right now is one of my work accounts, so it's not my Oculus account. And remember, if you haven't changed it, Microsoft now requires that you do Windows authentication, which means Microsoft authentication. So that's what that means on there. Okay, so now that we've actually logged in, we're not just going to broadcast the browser, we're going to broadcast the entire computer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the tab here and select the desktop application, and I'm going to hit start streaming. It's going to ask me if I want to do the whole thing and if I want to share audio, which I do, and you'll see on the bottom that it says this is now streaming. Now, to make sure that we can see that, what we're going to do is we're actually going to switch over to our little Metaverse world. And in our Metaverse world, I'm going to go ahead and hit connect, grab my other mouse on that one. And then I'm going to also hit the broadcast button so it shows in all the projectors that are sitting in this world. Now that I'm actually in the world itself, now I can be working in this gigantic television and sharing with friends. Now, I could also walk into my virtual office, which is over here. You can see it's also in the hallway. But I can go to my virtual office in here, sit at my virtual desk, and you can see it's also broadcasting in my computer in front of me and in the big screen in there. So when I put my Oculus on, I'll be able to work inside Metaverse, invite people to see what I'm working on, and also have that immersive experience that I'm looking for. One of the things that you guys will notice is I do have a sticky board of items that I need to have on there so I can know what I need to be tasked on for my job. So the order to do that is I bring Miro stickies into this world as well and have it up there so I can work on what I need to while I'm working live. So now I can put my Oculus on and continue to work as I would in the real world. Now, some of you might ask, well, if you have 4 monitors in your actual office, why do you want to work in the metaverse? It's about the immersive experience. A virtual office for me is really key because of the networking that I have with others. Somebody can walk into my space and talk to me. If I'm working with my team that work remote, they can come into the space and work with me. They don't physically have to be in my office, but I can work in there. I can watch TV, as you can see up ahead, that there's a television. And I can sit here and really enjoy all of the animations and MREs that I have in this world. Now, another thing I can do is if I decide I want to change some of the tasks that I'm doing and work in my YouTube studio that I actually have built in this world as well, is I can actually go upstairs and get in my avatar. Right now I'm doing it on my PC so you guys can see what it looks like. But if I go to the second screen, which is where our YouTube studio is, and we do have a sign that we're on the air, and you can see we have a workstation for a user there to work and then another one there. So those would be assistants. But for me, this is where a YouTube studio is. So if I decide to take a break and really work on my YouTube content, I can actually go into this space right here and step behind the stage, still have the screen behind me, put up what I need to show. And as you can see, when I'm working in my YouTube studio, this is kind of a side note, I have my notes up. So anything I'm going to talk about, I put my notes in front of me. Now, in order for me to see if I look good, if I'm looking exactly at the camera and so on, then what I can do is, let me get rid of some of these notes, get rid of that, and then we'll enable editor and we'll get rid of this. Now let me drag it out of the way. And as you can see, I have a screen right in front of me that's a mirror, and I can be standing in front of this monitor and continuing to interact with you guys as that, and put my cameraman in front of me and do a YouTube show, record it, upload it to YouTube and content and all of that fun stuff. But again, this is on a side note. I just really wanted to take you through the steps of getting your immersive experience with your everyday life into the virtual world and continue to do so. Now, as far as switching computers, I do have 2 laptops on top of this computer that I'm recording this on. So I can switch between the laptops if I'm working in Metaverse, or if I'm working in the real world. I can go into this one that I'm actually working out of, where I'm going to be doing most of my work today. Or I can immersively change a scene to another screen that I'm working on. But most likely I would just be having that laptop. If you had multiple screens, you can search and switch between screens while you're having that immersive experience. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was just a quick short video to all the MetaQs out there and Metalore out there that really wanted to know how somebody like Israel or somebody like you can go and have that immersive experience and work. So next step is I gotta get my headset on and continue to work in the metaverse. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions and comments, leave it in the comment description. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. Share it with your friends. You know, I always love the feedback. And if you have any questions, again, let us know. We're always happy to help. I'll see you on the next one.